Hello guys, and welcome to a new e-learning course. My name is Mohammed Barwan from Technology Academy. I handle trainings related to artificial intelligence, automation and IoT. Today I'm going to give you a brief idea about a very strong and very famous library when it comes to data science. We call it Pandas. Pandas is a very famous library to do a sort of data processing. And when I'm talking about data here, I'm talking about tabular kind of data, a data which is having rows and columns. So in short, if you are having a table and you are interested on learning how to do data processing, so this course will be the best course for you. So what is Pandas? Pandas is a library, a Python library, which is created in the top of another library, which we call it NumPy. So NumPy is a very good library when it comes to mathematical operation, doing mathematical operation using Python. Especially when we talk about tabular data or a table, if we want to apply some mathematical operation, we cannot use a normal Python methods or a normal Python functions. What we need to do is we need to use NumPy. NumPy is actually going to deal with these tabular data as a matrix, because the tables are nothing but columns and rows, and in fact they are nothing but a matrix. Let us have a look. So here I'm having this table, okay, which is having a lot of data. Fine, we have multiple columns. What will happen if we are going to remove the header? Let us try to remove the header. So now we don't have the header. Let us try to remove the boundaries, so we end up with only numbers. And if we are going to have brackets or a square bracket at the beginning and at the end, so we end up with a matrix. This is a matrix of a certain shape, and in reality, when we are dealing with tables, they are nothing but a matrix. So when Python is doing a data processing for our tables, they need to deal with it as a matrix, and NumPy is actually helping us to do all of this. And now on the top of NumPy, they have created another library to do data processing, and they have included a lot of useful functions, and then they call it Pandas. So when you are using Pandas, you are indirectly using another library, which is NumPy. So why we need it? We need it if in case you are doing machine learning project, because in machine learning, one of the most important step is to do data processing. Let us have a look. So the first step, if you want to develop a machine learning solution, the first step is to load the data, and then after that you need to do data processing. Fine. And then after that we need to visualize the data. We need to decide which column we are going to keep, which column we are going to remove. So to do that, we need to do a lot of data visualization, and then after that we are going to feed the data into a certain machine learning algorithm, and the algorithm will learn the pattern from the data. And then after that we are going to do model deployment. So we are going to deploy the model so that the user will be able to start using it, or maybe you will start taking advantage of your model by deploying it based on your requirement. When you talk about data pre-processing, the activities which is going to be applied here, and here I'm just mentioning some examples. This is not all the activities which might be there, but this is just an example. So here we have data exploration, data filtering, handling missing values. So if we have some missing values in our data, how to handle it, getting statistical information for the data, remove duplicate rows, adding or dropping some columns, data normalization, doing some sort of encoding using one-hot encoding and label encoding. So all of these activities we usually do in data pre-processing. This step is a very important step. That's why we are going to spend some time on learning how to do data pre-processing. So data pre-processing is one of the most important steps if you are planning to do a sort of data science or machine learning project. The second benefit of this course or learning Pandas is to automate Excel activities. So since we are going to talk and deal with tables in Excel, of course we are also dealing with a lot of tables, and we are doing same activities, right? We are removing some columns, we are adding columns, we are removing some rows, we are applying some actions, we are doing some data filtering. So if you are going to learn Pandas, it is not going to help you only to do a machine learning solution, but in fact it's going to help you to automate some of the Excel activities which you are doing it daily. And that is of course a very good advantage of learning Pandas. To get maximum benefit of this training, you should have, or you should be familiar with the basic we say level of Python. So if you are aware about the basics of Python, you can attend this course and you will learn and understand all the topics which we are going to discuss. But if you are not familiar with Python programming language, I would suggest you to go and attend our live session, Basics of Python course, which is going to help you to understand and learn the basics of this programming language. And then after that, if you are interested, you can take another step and learn Pandas to get more knowledge. So let us see the outlines. In this training, first of all, we are going to install an environment which we call a Jupyter Notebook. This is the environment which people use in the industry when it comes to data science and machine learning, and we are going to use the same tool in our course. We are going to learn how to read the data, how to read Excel data, how to read CSV. We are going to see how we can load the data into Python by using Pandas. We are going to see how to do data exploration and filtering by using some functions like head and tail. We are going to see the data types. So if you want to know the data types of all the columns, we are going to see how to do that. We are going to see how to get a general information about how many rows we have, how many columns, what is the shape, is there any missing values or not. So all of this information, the name of the columns, all of this information, especially when you are talking about a data which is having a lot of columns and a lot of rows, knowing all of this information is going to be very much helpful. So we are going to see how to do all of that in data exploration and filtering topic. We're going to see how to do indexing or slicing. So if I am interested on part of the data, how I can slice it, how I can just choose the columns which I'm going to use it for my project, because usually I'm not going to use all the columns. I'm going to select some of the columns which is of an interest for me to proceed with another steps related to machine learning. So how to do this kind of slicing or extracting the required data, this is what we are going to see here. Also, we are going to learn how to do slicing based on a certain condition. So let us assume that you want to do slicing, you want to extract, but you don't want to extract just the column or number of columns. You want to extract based on a certain condition. You want to extract the values of the columns based on a certain condition. So we are going to see how to do that. We are going to see how to get statistical information. So let us assume that you have column and you want to know what is the maximum value, minimum value, the mean, the mode, the median. So all of these, standard deviation, all of this information is going to be very much helpful, especially when you are dealing or when you are doing a data science project. These information are important for you to understand what kind of data you are dealing with. And then we will be talking about data cleaning. So after we have learned how to filter the data, we are going to learn how to apply action on the data. So we are going to see how to handle a missing value. So if you have any missing value in your data, we are going to see how we can handle it, how we can fill it maybe with some another value. Maybe we can remove the row, maybe we can fill it with the mean of the column. So we are going to see in general how to handle the missing value. We are going to see how to remove the duplicate row. So if you have some row which is duplicated, which is repeated, we are going to see how to delete that row. We're going to see also how to create a new column. So you are having, for example, 10 columns and you want to create column number 11. We're going to see how to do that. We're going to see also how to assign a value for our data, for our columns. We are going to see how to change the values, how to change the existing values with the new values, and we are going to see how to assign value for our new column. We're going to see how to export the data which we were dealing with using Python. So after we have applied our changes, we want to export the data back into an Excel form or CSV form. We are going to see how to do that using Pandas library. So this was the course introduction. Let us get started.